Nests have appeared all over the map in Path of Titans, looking like designated nesting areas for each point of interest in the game. But what do we know? What does this mean? And of course, where can you find them? Now, I want to caveat this and start off by saying this is purely on the public test branch for the game. This came into the public test branch as of patch update 31931, which saw the Struthiomimus TLC come to the game, along with biome reworks or point of interest reworks and other content as well. But one that seemingly went under the radar was a couple pivotal changes to the map, namely of course the aforementioned point of interest reworks, but also the start of the introduction of the foliage rework, which I mentioned in this video here. But the other thing that went under the radar is the nests. And these nests come in a multitude of different types. In Whistling Columns, there are larger nests with dirt in the center. There are similar dirt ones which don't include that center bit but are also smaller. Additionally, in some biomes you can find a more grey nest which has bones and a gravel outside but covered in bones, rib cages and stuff like that, of course, which is pretty cool. In Fly's Bluff, you are greeted with smaller nests which look just like a bunch of sticks piled together. And then in other variations of that, there's that small nest, but they're surrounded by stones as well, which is pretty fair. There are in addition a lot more nest variations as well, but this is not just for Gondwa, it's on Panjura too, which indicates that this is something they are preparing for both maps, which makes this quite a serious change. Another thing that I found interesting, by the way, especially on Gondwa, near the main population centers of the game or the highly congested areas like Impact Crater, White Cliffs and Grand Plains, there are no nests at all. But of course, when it comes to these new nests, what does this exactly mean? Well, I'll be honest, we don't know an awful lot just yet when it comes to this, but I have 3 potential ideas that could go alongside this, so let's just get right into them. The first one is that these are actually AI spawn areas. Now, this is a weird idea, but we know that the developers want to introduce AI to the game, and with greater server capacity, the introduction of AI is something the developers would work on after that as well. They mentioned that the reason why they want 200 player servers not only is because, 200 players is cool, but also it's fundamental for that of AI coming to the game. It also makes sense because they're keeping these out of the congested areas. Keeping these nests out of congested sites is actually quite important because it means that the AI will not spawn in the congested sites or will spawn in limited numbers, which would add to a more congested environment where they aim to make it more populated elsewhere. It also would make sense an area for AIs to spawn as babies instead of naturally just plopping out of thin air, just like, oh, I'm alive. They won't be doing that, but of course, I'm sure if they wanted to, they would. Number 2 is new spawn areas. Nesting sites could be something else. They could literally just be spawn areas, like that of Young Grove or Hunter's Thicket, but in different areas. You'll add more areas for your dinosaurs to spawn instead of the main couple few that you spawn in, as well as other ones that you plop down in as well. But this just makes it seem like more likely that you'd be able to be plopped down in a nesting site, and that's where you start your journey. However, the issue here is nest camping. I'm sure people would camp the nest sites. It's a more visible place. You get plopped down there, someone's going to be waiting. But my thought is, we already have that with Hunter's Thicket and Young Grove anyway. People waiting there just to gobble some babies up, which are, you evil people. I definitely don't do that either. So, you don't go after me, go after them. I'm not one of them. But the final option, number 3, what is it? That to me is dedicated nesting grounds. This could be the precursor to the nesting system to come to the game. Like, literally, it could be predetermined nesting sites for you and other players. I mean it like this. When you want to make a nest, it will tell you to go to one of these nesting sites, and then that's your nest. You'll get a designated nest in that site, and you can claim it, build your nest around it, or however you want to do it, and lay your eggs in that nest. But I'll be honest, this doesn't seem right, because to me, it's better to build your nest. And I feel like I really want that to happen. Like, is that going to happen? Are we going to end up building our nests, or are we going to be in a predetermined nest site? Well, here's some saving grace from the developers when it comes to nesting. According to a comment in 2020, Matt said you'll be able to do a lot with nests. You'll be able to nest in players and AI. But what about building a nest? Well, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything specific about that when I was glancing over things, but maybe there is that saving grace, that little bit of hope where maybe we'll be able to build our nest. So what do you guys think? Do you want to build a nest, or would you be fine with a predetermined nesting site? I'd love to know your thoughts there. But of course, where are all of these nests? I'm sure you're probably asking that question. Let's start with the one which has the least nests, the map with the least, and that is Panjura. Unfortunately, I wish Panjura got more love, but Panjura has one set of nests which is by that of Deep Lake. You know, the lake that looks like a heart where you go to take your dinosaur girlfriend so you can, I don't know, stare at a heart-shaped lake and be like, oh, that lake's as deep as the love for you. I can't complain about that because I would probably do that. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm cringe. Oh god, I'm a Wade. That being said, yeah, just west of that lake, there is a nest site in a grassy area, and I'd recommend you go there and check it out. It's pretty neat. It's the only one I've found in Panjura, but if you found others in Panjura, let me know. I'd love to know so we can get a better compiled list. However, for Gondwa, I have a list. I've written it all down right here. You know, my terrible handwriting. But there is a lot of nests in the Panjura region. I have found 18 different points of interest which have nesting sites. Some of them have multiple in as well. These are Whistling Columns, Burned Forest, Sharptooth Marsh, Dried Lake, Flyers Bluff, Green Hills and Birch Woods, between Titans Pass and Whistling Columns, Broken Tooth Canyon, Ripple Beach, Titans Pass itself, Stego Mountain, Savannah Grassland, Rockfall Hill, Rainbow Hills, Sanctuary Island, Triad Falls, Red Island, and Dark Woods. Yeah, that's a lot. Here's a little cinematic of all of them in their own designated areas. Have a look, have a watch, let me know what you think and which nesting site is your favourite. Most of them look the same. There we have it. All the nests come into Path of Titans, or at the moment in the public test branch. You can check it out right now if you have the public test branch. Bear in mind, I think you can only really check it out if you're on Xbox, PC, or mobile. Don't know if mobile has it just yet, but you can give it a check. If you're on PC, check out the Path of Titans Discord server on how to get the public test branch, or check out this video, which is a tutorial I made on how to get the public test branch. Go check it out. If you're on Xbox, PC, whatever, you might need it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.